Let's do a sort of meadow painting. They seem to be very popular. That is my cup of tea. Right, I've got a small piece of watercolour paper. The actual size is about, well, the aperture is say about 9 by 7, roughly 7, 8. To fit this one, I've marked it so that if I just go over a little bit, past those marks and the lines, it will fit the mount without any white showing. I've primed it with a piece with some dilute PVA wood glue. This does my varnishing, my priming, mixing if I want to use it. And I'm using up the paint on my palette because I'm going to start using greaseproof paper or using up some De La Rowney Stay Wet palette membranes, which were absolutely horrible in the Stay Wet palette. They croggled like you wouldn't believe. And the palette I had didn't last that long before it broke up. This is a Masterson Stay Wet palette. I don't get anything from Masterson's for saying this, but this is far, far superior to anything else I've used, with the exception of greaseproof paper. The drawback with that is that any unused paint, especially the oil paint, gets chucked away. The oil paint will stay open for 2 or 3 days because it's student quality and there's more oil than there would be maybe if it was a more saturated artist quality. These paints are Wilkinson's, apart from the white and the yellow ochre. They're cheap. They've gone up to about £2 for 200ml tubes, but they're very, very economical, very good. But I used artist quality white, and I buy that in these great big half-litre tubs. This Winsor & Newton Galleria. You need more white than anything else when you're working with oil or acrylic. Right, I'll try not to get it on my lap. I've draped something over my lap, I think, because this can get on your knees and on your nerves. Right, I'll just open that up. No, but that's fine. There we are. Nice dust sheet on my knees. Right, it's quite a nice day in London today. We've had a lot of cold weather, miserable rainy weather. I think the rain's building up, but it's been a lovely day so far. Right, okay, I've not made my mind up as to sky, so I'm just going to start. I'm going to use a bit of burnt umber, a bit of ultramarine, or a lot of ultramarine, and a bit of white in there. I'm not showing you the mixing, you don't want to see that. I want a warmy sort of grey. Okay, so I'm going to go right above those marks. I'll put all these clips on to stop it buckling too much, so I've only primed it on one side. Oh, that's a nice bit of blue, but I don't want it streaky. I want it blended. I'm using the knife in the sky as a brush, so once it's fairly thin, I can put it in pasto towards the end. But I want a nice darkish sky to start with. That's not blue enough. It's great fun. I know some of you prefer the watercolours and others prefer the acrylics, but I try to please everybody, but most of all I try to please myself. I paint what I want to paint, obviously, and hope that you like some of what I do. So with this, I'm doing this light dark here so that we can counterchange light against it. I want some lighter colour now. It's all gone a bit stiff now, luckily, because we've haven't used this palette for some days, probably about a week. So and I haven't had any water. I've no idea where this is going to go. Just want to work at it until we get something. Don't want to spend too long on it. And over these sort of clouds I can put in some lighter clouds, a bit of ochre. Let's mix a bit of ochre with that. So we get a sort of a warmer grey. I don't know why that's a bit, it might be a bit of unevenness on my board. A bit of ply, a bit of hardboard. Right, let's put in a bit of this. But we want to show some knife marks because we are using a knife, and okay, get some more light in here now. Let's get that corner done. I can put a clip back. So I'm lightening it now. It's just a bit. The problem is when you're working on white, you have to adjust your values because darks look much darker compared to the white, and darks look too dark and well. Fairly big sky. Right, let's get some yellow ochre, bit of red, touch of cadmium red, and some yellow ochre. Got plenty of tissue paper. I've done a watercolour today. Called it rough ground, and it looks a bit rough too, but a lot of people walk through rough ground and try to get out of it as quickly as possible, but you know, if you look at it, you'll find all sorts of textures and ideas. Right, we're going to fall some impasto on the edge of these clouds here. And oh, right, we've now got burnt sienna, blue, and a bit of black on that. So I'll clean that all off. I want to take a little bit of paint off the back of my knife there. It'll scratch otherwise. God, that's been on there some years. These are very old, these knives, but because they're good quality, they're steel rather than chromium plated somehow. Let's see if I just get that off there. Right, let's get in some nice rich light on that horizon. The reason I primed this was that if I don't, the paint will dry straight into the paper and it will dry far too quickly. Okay, what's that look like on screen? Can go in with some darker colour now, some blue, a bit of red. Just right, let's get a bit of warm in there. We can use a bit of orange. Probably that's a bit of a step too far there. Right, we've got a complicated sky there now. Bit of blending and a bit more of that dark in here. Right, okay. And put a bit of bluey stuff in here and there, just. Right, I think that is enough there. So, some well, I don't know. I probably just the horizon's too high still. So let's put in a bit of grey, but warmy grey, coming up over the. So it just shows some lighter skies coming up over the trees that we're going to put in as a background. We can have a bit of red in there as well, if we want. To warm it up a little bit. Look at that coming up here. A bit more there. And I can go over that, it's fairly thin. Right. That's just about drying now. And my tea is as well. I forgot to drink it. If you haven't yet tried these, they're great fun. Oh, I've got cobalt blue red. Let's try a bit of cobalt and a bit of red as our distance. You can paint very fine with a knife. So add a bit of yellow to that, I think. So we'll have a bit of a yellowy, bluey, turquoisey green. Ah, that's nice. Okay. Now we'll put some darker stuff on there. So I'm a great lover of black. Black is a great mixer in oil and acrylic, but the great Roland Hilder used a lot of black in his watercolours to great effect. Now maybe we could put in some, I'll find a brush, put in some buildings maybe. So we won't put them as white, it's off centre. Alright, we'll put a bit of roof on there, bit of, what should we have as a roof? Yellow ochre, bit of sienna, burnt sienna. Don't know if it's going to show up. Let's change the colour to a darker grey for the roofs. Now, but it's not quite straight up there. There's right. Okay, that's all right. We'll straighten that up. Counter change against that dark roof. I've never really used this brush, it's quite tricky. Over the time I put some dark around those let's just take that down there and then we can go over that. Right, okay. So, go back to our nice, oh yeah, I can okay, well that's about as good as I'm going to get that. So, let's thinly put in some rough stuff. Okay, come here, across here, move these down a bit and out of the way. Let's get these. I'm going to put some trees on that line now. So green, black, and lowly lemon yellow, and you get a lovely, lovely green. And you can warm it up with a bit of red. No good trying to be exact with all this. Try to vary the shapes. Put a bit of varying if you can. So this could be, this is rough ground, but it could be a favourite place that I've passed many times is around Dymchurch. It's the Romney Marsh. Absolutely lovely area, the hinterland anyway. Let's have a little bit of light here and there. Right, I need to do a little bit in there, and that's going to be a bit tricky, so use my left hand. Oh, I've covered it all up blue, haven't I? Oh, well, never mind. Right. Get some of that off. Now we'll go back with a big knife and drink some more tea. It's probably be cold by now. You need big rolls of paper for this, and I bought another roll. I'll show you how big it is. £2, big roll. It's quite light. I mean, it's not solid stuff, but it's £1.50. How bad is that, eh? Got a huge roll of this lovely paper. It gives me a bag as well for my spare, my rubbish. White tea. Well, I want to get some nice light greens in here as well, so to counter change against that dark shadow on the trees. Alright, okay, then we can get a Right, coming on. Let's get some light green in there now. Go over the edge a little bit. mix a bit of sienna in with that now, and some ochre. Start warming things up. Oh, a bit of burnt umber, why not? Burnt umber is a lovely colour. I've started to use it more in watercolour for the warmer, shadowy areas in my landscapes. Well, I don't do landscapes. I had a couple of years painting Venice. I got sick of it. Painting by numbers. But it paid well. This is the rough ground. Let's just merge it all, get some nice lemony yellows. So all this variety in greens you need to do, because you're coming to the foreground, but you want warm greens. I'm going to take some of that off at the bottom there, because that's going to clash with the mount when I get there. Alright, just little bits of interest here and there. I've got some nice light shining through there, so a bit of lemon green. A bit high there. Okay, so let's put in a bit of shadowy stuff here. Okay, well that'll do. That's a painting there. Right, clean my fingers. So I don't want to pick my lovely mount up, triple mount, with dirty hands. So let's take all these off. Right, move that up there, up the top. Alright, okay. That's nearly there, isn't it? Right, let's see if I can fix that with a bit of tape. Oh, I'm going to say probably my last time holding this mount, and I'm trying to get a bit of masking tape off. Laugh among yourselves. Whoops. bet that doesn't hold. So I ain't got far to. It hasn't, has it? Alright, okay. Well, we'll let that go. That's nearly, it's only just a bit of the bottom. So let's bring you round. So here we are, it's a memory of, I'll just move this vertical. Get the camera in the middle. Oh, there we are, another simple. Well, you might think, oh, simple for me because I've done a lot of it, but it is simple. There's nothing in that you couldn't do yourself. It's a lovely way of painting. It's having fun with the paint. It's beautiful moving around paint. It's even better with oil because it stays open so much longer. Right, let's go in and have a closer look, see what we've done. Right, there's the sky. I left some dark clouds to contrast with the lighter ones to give a bit of a dramatic feel to it. And as we come down to the horizon, I've got a nice light above the horizon with that bluey cloud coming up from behind. The blue that I did originally, I covered up, which is a bit stupid, but there you go. And the foreground, I've just plastered in loads of different greens and grey greens, bit of dark there. I'm not sure I like that as a blob. Let's just see if we just change the shape of that. That's better, I think. So I'll photograph this, I'll put it on Facebook and link it to YouTube, and I'll do the same on YouTube. I'll upload it to YouTube and link it to my Facebook page. If you haven't subscribed, it'd be nice if you do subscribe to my channel and you'll get hopefully notified when I put a new video on. That's a really nice mount, isn't it? Triple mount. Well, I hope my picture lives up to it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you maybe in the morning. Goodbye.